Alright, we are on 2 Kings chapter 24. In his days, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up, and Jeroboam became his servant 3 years. Then he turned and rebelled against him. And the Lord sent against him bands of the Chaldees, and bands of the Syrians, and bands of the Moabites, and bands of the children of Ammon, and sent them against Judah to destroy it, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke by his servant the prophet. Now I want you to notice that God even uses the sinners to punish his people, or even he would even use the sinners to punish you. Surely at the commandment of the Lord came here this upon Judah, to remove them out of his sight for the sin of Manasseh, according to all that he did, and also for the innocent blood that he shed. For he filled Jerusalem with innocent blood, which the Lord would not pertain. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the king of Judah? So Jeroboam slept with his father, and Jehoiachin his son reigned in his stead. And the king of Egypt came not again any more out of his land, for the king of Babylon had taken from the river of Egypt even to the Euphrates all that pertained to the king of Egypt. And Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months. And his mother's name was Nehushta, the daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father had done. At that time, the servant of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up against Jerusalem, and the city was besieged. And Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came against the city, and his servants did besiege it. And Jehoiachin, the king of Judah, went out to the king of Babylon, he and his mother, and his servants, and his princes, and his officers, and the king of Babylon took him in the 8th year of his reign. And he carried out all thence all the treasures of the house of the Lord, and the treasures of the king's house. And they cut in pieces all the vessels of gold which Solomon king of Israel had made in the temple of the Lord, as the Lord had said. And he carried away all Jerusalem, and all the princes, and all the mighty men of valor, even 10,000 captivity, and all the craftsmen and smiths. None remained, save the poorest sort of people of the land. Wow, that's great to be poor there. And he carried away Jehoiachin to Babylon, and the king's mother, and the king's wives, and his officers, and his mighty of the land, whose carried he into captivity from Jerusalem unto Babylon. And all the men of might, even 7,000, and crafty men and smiths 1,000, all that was strong and appointed for war. Even them the king of Babylon brought captivity to Babylon. And the king of Babylon made Matthana, his father's brother, king in his stead, and charged his name to Zedekiah. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Hamatel, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that Jeroboam had done. For though the anger of the Lord is come to pass to Jerusalem and Judah, until he had cast them out of his presence, that Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. Alright, here we come with the last chapter in 2 Kings, and it's 25. And it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, in the 10th day of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came he and all his hosts against Jerusalem, and pitched against it, and they built fort against it around about. And the city was besieged unto the 11th year of King Zedekiah. And on the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine prevailed in the city, and there was no bread for the people of the land. And the city was broken up, and all the men of war fled by night by the way of the gates between the two walls, which by the king's garden. Now the Chaldees were against the city around about, and the king went the way towards the plain. And the army of the Chaldees pursued after the king, and overtook him in the plains of Jericho, and all his armies were scattered from him. So they took the king, and brought him up to the king of Babylon, to Riblah, and they gave judgment upon him. I cannot read these words. And they slew the son of Zedekiah before his eyes, and put out the eyes of Zedekiah, and bound him with feathers of brass, and carried him to Babylon. And in the 15th month, on the 7th day of the month, which is the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, a servant of the king of Babylon, into Jerusalem. And he burnt the house of the Lord, and the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem. And every great man's house burnt he with fire. And all the army of Chaldees that were with the captain of the guard broke down the walls of Jerusalem around about. Now the rest of the people that were left in the city, and the fugitive that fell away to the king of Babylon, with the raiment of the multitude, did Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carry away. But the captain of the guard left of the poor of the land to be vine dressers and husbands. And the pillars of brass that were in the house of the Lord, and the basins and the brazen sea that was in the house of the Lord, did the Chaldees break in pieces, and carry the brass of them to Babylon. And the pots, and the shovels, and the snuffers, and the spoons, and all the vessels of brass wherewith they ministered, took they away. And the fire pans, and the bowls, and such things as were of gold, and of silver, in silver, the captain of the guards took away. The two pillars, one sea, and the brazen which Solomon had made for the house of the Lord, the brass of all the vessels was without weight. The height of the one pillar was 18 cubits, and the carpenter. Upon it was brass, the highest of the carpenter 3 cubits, and the weathering work, and pomegranates upon the carpenter around about, all of the brass, and like unto those who had the second pillar with the weathering work. And the captains of the guard took Shariah, the chief priest, and Zephaniah, the second priest, and the 3 keepers of the door, and out of the city, he took an officer that was set over the men of war, and 5 men of them that were in the king's presence, which were found in the city, and the principal scribe of the host, which mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land that were found in the city. And Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, took these and brought them to the king of Babylon, to Riblah. And king of Babylon smote them and slew them at Riblah in the land of Hamath. So Judah was carried away out of their land. And as for the people that remained in the land of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had left, even over them he made Gilgash, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, ruler. And when all the captains of the armies, they and their men, heard that the king of Babylon had made Gedaliah governor, there came to Gildalar to Mizpah, even Ishmael the son of Nathan, and Jonathan the son of Koresh, and Sarai, and son of Tanhamath the Tophadite, and Jaanath the son of Machathite, they and their men. And Gilash swore to them and to their men, and said unto them, Fear not to be the servant of the Chaldees. Dwell in the land and serve the king of Babylon, and it will be well with you. But it came to pass in the 7th month that Ishmael the son of Nathan, the son of Elishama, and the seed of the royal, came, and 10 men with them, and smote Gilash, and he died, and the Jews and the Chaldees that were with him at Mizpah. And all the people, both small and great, and the captains of the army, arose and came to Egypt, for they were afraid of the Chaldees. And it came to pass in 7 and 13 years of captivity of Joachim king of Judah, and the 20th month, in the 12th month, sorry about that, on the 7th and the 20th day of the month, that evil Merodach, king of Babylon, in the year that he began to reign, did lift up the head of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, out of prison. And he spoke kindly to him, and set his throne above the throne of the kings that were with him in Babylon, and charged his prison garments, and he did eat bread continually before him all the days of his life. And this allowance was of control allowance given him of the king, a daily rate for every day, all the days of his life. All right, we are done with first or Second Kings. Tomorrow we start First Chronicles, and let's see how many we have of First Chronicles. How many chapters? We have 29 chapters in First Chronicles. All righty, we will see you tomorrow. Love each and every one of you.